Keesh from Malaysia wrote a letter to the United captain ahead of the Manchester derby.
Keesh, why did you want to write a letter to Bruno?
Well, to put it quite simply, Bruno has been under criticism so much in recent weeks and recent months. And some of those criticisms, I've always felt that they were unwarranted. They were pretty unfair on him. Sometimes it's very extreme as well, these criticisms.
Talk to us about your post on X. It was very unlike you.
Yeah, the tweet was basically just a knee-jerk reaction because I was really bothered by some of the things that people were saying about Bruno. And I just thought to myself, there are so many bigger problems, and yet people are making him the scapegoat. And that's just really, really unfair on him. So when I found out that Adam was going to go and interview Bruno at Carrington, I just thought to myself, perhaps I should just write him a short letter and just remind him that in the middle of all this criticism that he's dealing with, probably a vast majority of United fans out there truly appreciate everything he has done and continues to do for the club.
Well, Bruno, you mean a lot to fans, not just in Manchester, but around the world. Sometimes it's easy to forget that, I guess, but this is Manchester United. So we've reached out. I've actually got a message here just for you. Would you mind just reading it? It's from below the yellow text there.
Hello, Bruno. My name is Keesh, and I'm a sports journalist and TV host from Malaysia, but I'm also a Manchester United fan. I've only got a couple of things to tell you.
I grew up watching Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Nemanja Vidic. I grew up listening to stories of Brian Robson, stories of Steve Bruce, and these are different captains with different leadership styles.
Bruce's header smacks into the back of the net.
But you know who the Man United captain I resonate with the most is?
It's you, Bruno. Leaders are sometimes expected to be superhuman who solves everyone's problem, but that's not you. You, like most Man United fans out there, are ordinary person.
You experience the emotions that we all feel. You experience the joys, the pain, the pride, and the frustration. But you also carry the weight of this club on your shoulders.
When things are not going too well. That's why I resonate the most with you. Because for most people out there, life is not easy. Life is unfair, life is full of pain, grief, and difficulties. And somehow everyone has got to find a way to bounce back and recover. Everyone has got to find a reason to keep dreaming.
And that's exactly what you're doing, Bruno.
We see you doing it.
Criticism is pretty easy. But walking through the storm, now, that isn't easy.
And yet, here you are, leading the team out every week and giving absolutely everything out there, just like us, fighting through our only struggles.
You remind United fans that showing up, giving everything, and caring with your whole heart is what truly matters. We see ourselves in you, Bruno. Keep leading, keep fighting.
The fans are right behind you. I really appreciate that. The message basically resumes what I am, what I do. I do see what the message says. Obviously, this is what I think. Playing football is much easier than being in the position where most people are, because some people go through very difficult things where life is very difficult for them. So I wouldn't say life is unfair to me, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with my life. I'm pretty lucky with my life. The responsibility I have as being United captain is a privilege and not anything else. So it is tough. Everyone has difficult things in their own world. But obviously, I always want to think that someone is in the worst position than me. So, and in this world, there are many, many people in the worst position than me.
Very well said.
Well, that was nice. Even for a Manchester City fan, I could appreciate that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
Clinton?
nice.
Let's speak to Keesh, shall we, who is in Malaysia. And by the way, it was our silly little Manchester United producer who's never been to Old Trafford who said Kesh to me. I knew it was Keesh.
Yeah.
Keesh, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Wow.
I'm good, guys. It's an absolute pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah, and how was that, watching that with your captain?
Yeah, that was pretty special. I mean, when I knew that my colleague Adam Carruthers was going to go and meet Bruno, it was right smack in the middle of the sort of, I would call it a turbulent narrative for Bruno, where everything was being pinned on him. Everyone was just blaming him for everything. And I just thought to myself, hey, maybe it'll just be a nice gesture to just write a letter for Bruno.
Yeah, Keesh, I think he's been the best player this season, do you? By a country mile, by the way.
It's been hard, though, is it?
No, it's not. I agree with you, it's not been hard, but there's even a team like Real Madrid that are interested in him at the moment. You must be a good player for Real Madrid that are interested in at the moment. And you can see his goal contributions here. And let me tell you, that should be a lot more, but loads of the strikers are missing too many chances. Do you agree?
By the way, Keesh, before you answer that...
He's by far been Man United's best player.
Keesh, one minute.
Sorry. There's a bit of a
something.
delay on the line. No, I was just going to say, with the point you just made, I was just thinking out loud, where would Manchester United be without those goal contributions?
Exactly.
You know, they would literally... I genuinely think you would be in a relegation battle, Keesh, without Fernandes this season. You're smiling. I'm serious.
I agree, though. 100% I agree. I don't think it's even up for debate whether Bruno is or is not Man United's best player. He is by far Man United's best player on off the pitch, full stop. I don't think that's even up for debate. It's not just the chances, it's not just the goals, it's the fact that he's dragging the team through such a difficult patch. And that, I think, probably the most difficult thing any player can do, which is you know your ability, you know what you can afford to do on the pitch, but the entire team is just going through such a difficult period, and you find yourself having to drag that team through the patches. And I think that's what Bruno has been doing phenomenally well throughout the course of the season. And the fact that we're even talking about some fans or some parts out there criticizing him, it's a joke to begin with.
Well, yeah, no, I can see both sides. Clinton, I mean, look...
You know why he gets criticised, Will? I'm going to be honest. The only reason
he wears his heart on his sleeve,
yeah, he wears his heart because he throws his arms in the air. But that is pure frustration. If he's playing with better players, he wouldn't be doing that. And go on, Keesh, you want to say something? Go on.
No, that's the exact point, really, because I think we have sort of built this idea of what leadership should look like. We have built a very binary vision of what leadership should look like, when in reality, leadership, whether it's in a football club, whether it's in an office, whether it's in a school, whether it's in a corporate environment, it comes in different shapes, sizes, and form. And Man United fans have been so accustomed to the Roy Keane style of leadership, or the Nemanja Vidic style of leadership, or the Gary Neville style of leadership, that we expect that out of every single individual that's appointed as a captain of the club. And I think that is an unfair expectation. Bruno Fernandes is leading the club in the best way that he knows how to. And I think that we need to, at some point, start to appreciate Bruno's style of leadership for what it is, instead of expecting him to be a different leader or a different version of a leader.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's tough times for Manchester United fans, and he has been one of the rare shining lights.
Definitely.
And to go back to that point, without him, it's quite a scary thought, isn't it, of where they would be. And if he is to leave and to go to a Real Madrid or to a big club like that, how do they replace the leadership and that midfielder? Look, before we let you go, Keesh, talk to me about the Manchester derby, my friend. Come on. I mean, Hum's there trying to claim that the one at the Etihad was a good Manchester United performance. You were a shambles and you got 3 points.
Look, at this part of the season, it really isn't about performance anymore. I agree with Hums. To a large extent, I think United fans out there are ready to sort of forego the season, sort of just ride through the storm and look forward to next season. The Europa League is perhaps the only thing that United fans are taking a bit of an eye on. But when it comes to a derby, when it comes to a big game, when it comes to an isolated game of football, then it's firing on all 4 cylinders. It has to be that way. And United, whether it's Bruno, whether it's the entire team, whether it's Ruben, whether it was, even Ten Hag, they've shown a tendency of, regardless of the storm that they find themselves in, that they find a way to step up in these big games. And that's why you've seen United's strong performances in games against Liverpool, in games against Man City, where sometimes where they don't end up playing that well, but they find a way to get the result and get the game across. And I think when it comes to this Sunday, it's going to be a similar case. Forget about the form, forget about the momentum, treat it as an isolated game of football. I think United have every chance to cause an upset.
Keesh, lovely. Thank you very much. There we go. Keesh in Malaysia.